Mind Genomics for Fragrance, Building Product Development at Scale. Imagine getting this request. Create a fragrance that feels refreshing and strengthening in the morning, supports focus and mental clarity, energizing without being aggressive, something appropriate for daily use. Key question: where do we start? Typically, we would reach out to those with opinions.
This is usually where we start debating. Which version feels right? Which one should we test first? We really need to figure out a different way to do this so we don't start from scratch each time.
Let's follow this brief through to completion.
What you're about to see is a different way of starting, grounded in measured human response. This is the science of mind genomics. As before, we start with the question: what are we trying to create? What is our brief? But instead of guessing, instead of running a beauty contest, we put proven science to work for us. We use experimental design. The first step is deciding what the variables are. In fragrance terms, these are keys, components we can combine. We choose 4 of them. These 4 fragrance keys define the study. Every bottle looks the same from the outside. Inside each bottle are exactly 4 cotton balls. The study dictates exactly what combination of keys each bottle holds. Singles, pairs, trios, and the full set. 15 combinations total. We start with 4 keys and can expand as desired. Next, we connect the fragrances to psychology and real experience. The respondent enters a neutral laboratory environment. Nothing here is designed to influence her experience.
The respondent logs in. Participant ID, study code, location, and time of day. We capture the context of her experience, which is incorporated into the study. Baseline questions appear on the tablet.
Before smelling anything, she answers 8 simple yes or no questions about how she feels. This establishes a baseline, her internal state before exposure. Calm, yes. Energized, no. Optimistic, yes.
The tablet then directs her to pick up a specific bottle. She smells the bottle, pauses, smells again. Short statements we call vignettes appear on the tablet.
The first vignette is made up of 4 phrases. Feels distracting when I want to rest. Soft and comforting on my skin. Calm and emotionally settled. This helps me take care of myself. She rates the vignette a 4 out of 5. It feels like it almost matches the experience she had with the fragrance. There are a total of 24 of these vignettes. She rates each as a whole, quickly. She doesn't overthink her ratings. Later, we will use regression analysis to understand the role each fragrance key plays in her rating, and also to any change she experienced in her emotional state.
Speaking of which, after finishing the vignettes, the same 8 emotional state questions return. In a very short time, a tremendous amount of data is being generated that Mind Genomics will process.
For our respondent, it almost takes more time to describe the process than to complete it.
Before moving on to the next bottle, we ask the respondent to write a few sentences about the fragrance and her associations with it.
Between fragrances, she rests for 3 to 4 minutes to reset, and the process continues with a different bottle. What used to take many months now takes just a few days. From 200 respondents, we analyze both perception and meaning. We understand how specific fragrance keys shift experience, which phrases from your business's vocabulary truly drive response, and how those effects differ by mindset. That's what turns human reaction into structured knowledge and allows us to create fragrances guided by predictive science, not guesswork. Unlike other study tools, Mind Genomics produces absolute coefficients, knowledge that continues to compound with every study. What you learn about these 4 fragrance keys doesn't stop here. It carries forward, expanding as future studies add new keys, new combinations, and even entire portfolios. The results of every Mind Genomics study become part of your library. And with every new study, the library grows, more nuanced, more predictive, and more powerful. Now back to that brief I received at the beginning of this video. We're being asked to create a new fragrance. The brief says they want a fragrance that is focused, refreshing, energizing, without being aggressive. I enter these parameters into the library developed through our studies. Because the vignettes used in the study reflect the language our business also uses, searching is intuitive, in addition to keywords. We can search by emotional changes measured after exposure and by the language respondents actually used. From there, the library slices the data by demographics, region, and time of day. In response to our queries, the Mind Genomics library delivers exact fragrance keys and combinations of keys that match the parameters we've defined. And as the library grows, the absolute coefficients empower the system to go further, identifying effective combinations of keys we've never tested together and may never have thought to test, but that precisely meet the conditions that we've queried. This science breaks silos because the knowledge doesn't live in a single team, function, or individual. It lives in the library. What one team learns becomes available to everyone else, not as opinion, not as interpretation, but as shared, predictive knowledge. That's how the organization gets smarter, not by moving faster in isolation, but by learning together. For me, as a business manager, the power is what the library makes possible. I can query the library to discover fragrance combinations we would never have thought to explore. I can discover mindsets within our customers that we didn't know existed. Yes, the system is faster, repeatable, and predictive. But more importantly, it opens the door to identifying new products and unmet customer needs, using proven science at a global scale.